At the stroke of the midnight hour, on August 15, 1947, a new nation was born. India, after nearly 2 centuries of British rule, awoke to life and freedom. Across cities and villages, the air was thick with emotion, overwhelming joy and profound uncertainty. The tricolour, saffron, white and green, rose above the red fort, symbolizing the end of a long struggle for dignity and self-rule. It was a dream nurtured by generations: Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, and countless others. For the common person, freedom meant escape from domination, an end to exploitation, and hope for opportunity. Hearts swelled with promise for children who would be citizens, not subjects. Yet the dawn of freedom had dark clouds. Partition, dividing India and Pakistan, unleashed suffering and division. The Radcliffe Line cut through provinces and homes with tragic haste. Punjab, Bengal, villages and farms. Neighbors turned into enemies overnight. Trains arrived filled with the dead. Hundreds of thousands, perhaps over 1 million, perished. Camps sprang up across the land. Food, shelter and medical care strained a fragile treasury and administration. The immediate aftermath was a colossal humanitarian crisis. Bitterness and mistrust scarred relations with Pakistan and stoked communal divisions within India. India, an ancient civilization, embarked on a modern experiment. Leaders had to weave a nation from diverse languages, religions, and cultures. They had to build democracy for a largely impoverished, illiterate population. They had to establish government, write a constitution, and chart economic development. The world watched, skeptical yet hopeful, at this ambitious journey. From that moment on, India's story has been the story of becoming. Leaders worked to quell violence and uphold secular ideals. The tragedy was a harsh reminder that unity would be hard-won. Despite wounds, the resolve to build a united, peaceful India held firm. With independence secured and chaos managed, the task turned to building the state. A constitution, a union of states and enduring institutions, this would define the republic. And it began with words on paper and courage in practice. From midnight's promise to daylight's trials, India pressed forward. The Constituent Assembly labored from 1946 to 1949 to frame a constitution. Led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, they studied the world yet wrote for India's realities. On January 26, 1950, India became a sovereign, secular democratic republic. The constitution guaranteed fundamental rights: freedom of speech, equality before law, freedom of religion. Universal adult franchise gave every adult, regardless of gender, caste, religion, or wealth, the right to vote. Skeptics were silenced by peaceful, regular transfers of power. Over 500 princely states faced a choice: join India, join Pakistan, or seek independence. Sardar Patel, with diplomacy, persuasion, and resolve, secured accessions and a unified map. The Balkanization of India was averted. Institutions took shape: a neutral civil service, an independent judiciary, professional armed forces. The colonial steel frame was reoriented to serve a democracy. These pillars steadied the world's largest democracy. Jawaharlal Nehru, staunch Democrat, championed secularism, science, and a mixed economy with state-led industry. Heavy industry, infrastructure, and non-alignment defined early policy. Alongside, Patel grounded the state in order and unity. Indira Gandhi led decisively in 1971 and reoriented finance, yet her tenure invited fierce debates. The emergency suspended rights, dissent was jailed, the press censored. Voters restored balance, proving resilience of democratic foundations. Shastri steered with humility in 1965. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Jayaprakash Narayan became the conscience against corruption and authoritarianism. Together, their contrasts forged balance between vision and vigilance. Next came the battle to feed and power 1 billion futures. From scarcity to surplus, through science and will. Early India grappled with food shortages, monsoon failures, and reliance on foreign aid. Leaders vowed, sovereignty requires food self-sufficiency. Scientists like M.S. Swaminathan, backed by Shastri and Indira, led the Green Revolution. High-yield seeds promised abundant harvests. With controlled water, chemicals, and training, fields turned green. Punjab, Haryana, and western Uttar Pradesh saw yields soar. Wheat production skyrocketed. By the 1970s, India built buffer stocks and ended dependence on aid. Intensive practices depleted soil and groundwater and polluted waterways. Benefits were uneven. Irrigated regions and wealthy farmers advanced. Disparities widened. In parallel, Nehruvian planning built heavy industry, steel, machinery, and power. Public sector undertakings became the temples of modern India. An industrial base emerged where little existed, but the license Raj stifled enterprise, slowed growth, and blunted innovation. Meanwhile, the first general election mobilized 173 million voters. The emergency darkened democracy until voters reclaimed it in 1977. By the late 20th century, the old model faltered. A new chapter would redefine India's trajectory. Markets would open, technology would surge, growth would accelerate. From fields and furnaces to circuits and satellites, the canvas was set. In 1991, a severe balance of payments crisis forced bold choices. Reforms dismantled the license Raj, welcomed foreign investment, and energized private enterprise. India rode the global IT wave with an educated, English-speaking workforce. Tech hubs boomed, services exports soared, millions found new careers. ISRO rose from modest origins to global respect. Satellites transformed communication, forecasting, and resource management. From the moon to Mars, India reached ambitiously and affordably into space. Reforms and technology lifted growth to 7–8%, moving millions out of poverty. A new middle class transformed daily life. Yet inequality persisted. Jobs for youth and environmental stress loom large. Literacy rose from 12% to over 70%. Most children now attend school. Public health campaigns eradicated smallpox and nearly eliminated polio. Life expectancy nears 70. But a double burden remains. Infections endure as lifestyle diseases rise. Women enter workplaces and public life in greater numbers. Laws expanded rights and protections, progress amid persistent challenges. Over half the nation is under 25. A demographic dividend of energy and ambition. From startups to social enterprise, arts to sports, young Indians drive change. Social fault lines and polarized discourse test institutions. Yet the enduring spirit is one of hope and aspiration. From tryst with destiny to rising global player, India's epic growth story continues.